Good afternoon. My name is Laura Colligan and I'm a primary PGC student. During my time here at the university, my passion for teaching has developed significantly. Throughout my PT experiences in the foundation phase, an area of interest that I wished to develop was the engagement of foundation phase pupils in the assessment of their own and of their peers' learning to close the gap between their current learning situation and where they want to go in their achievements. Today I will present to you some of the assessment for learning strategies that I have used. I taught a large early years class that worked in mixed ability groups, and the lesson that I'm going to talk through was a literacy lesson based on the Chinese New Year, which focused on developing oracy skills. I began the lesson by hooking the learners with a Chatterpix video. The Chinese dragon delivered a message to the children posing a problem. The pig had gone missing in the Great Race, and celebrations could not begin until he was found. The dragon asked the children if they could help find him. At this point, the learners had a clear awareness of what their overall challenge was, to help the dragon find the missing pig. As a class, the learners came up with their own ideas of how they could help, agreeing they wanted to create a wanted poster. On a daily basis, my PTE school endeavours to challenge, motivate and provide opportunities for all learners to reach their absolute potential by ensuring that they are all provided with clear steps in how they can achieve this. The skills identified in the foundation phase framework are clearly communicated to the learners so that they understand where they are going in their learning and what skills they will be developing to meet the challenge. These skills were displayed often using simpler language which could be comprehended by the learners as the learning intention. I regularly use James Nottingham's notion of the learning pit, which focuses on developing learners who are critical, creative, caring and collaborative thinkers. All learners were of nursery age, but I ensured that I planned for learning activities that would also develop both reception and Year 1 literacy skills for those learners who are capable of stepping out of their comfort zone and placing themselves in the learning pit and challenging themselves. This approach works hand in hand with Carol Dweck's term of a growth mindset, the understanding by learners that abilities and intelligence can be developed. Using the learning pit, I ensured that the learners were always engaged and took ownership of their own successes and achievements. I did so by using a strategy known to the children as the Lego challenge. For each of the three skills that I had implemented into my lesson, a specific coloured Lego block was allocated to that skill, starting with the lower skill on red, the yellow block representing the middle skill, and the higher skill being represented by the green block. Throughout my focus tasks, I would then use these Lego challenges as a means for the learners to assess their own learning progress. When they have demonstrated that particular skill in their learning, they are given a Lego block. These blocks were then brought to the plenary at the end of the session where the learners could talk about their achievements to their peers. By setting 3 levels of challenge, this was beneficial in supporting the learners in moving forward in their learning as they had a clear knowledge of where they needed to go next. The Lego challenge provides an opportunity for all learners to successfully achieve something during the lesson at the level of challenge which is most appropriate to them. This was also how I myself was able to incorporate differentiation within my mixed ability groups. Once the learners were in the focus group, I reminded them that in order to create a successful piece of work, they must be clear on the features of what they were drawing and what the steps to success needed to be. The notable work by Black and William found that pupils cannot accurately self-assess if they do not have a clear picture of the targets that the learning is meant to attain. With the support of using VR goggles to look at the pigs, questioning and a waggle of a wanted poster, the children were the experts in their own learning and they collectively created their very own success criteria, which I scribed on a flip chart. At this stage, the majority of the learners had all contributed to the success criteria in some way, and I was able to physically reward most learners with a red Lego block. The learners then used the success criteria to draw their wanted posters, achieving the yellow block. The example of work shown on the screen demonstrates a pupil who successfully achieved both the yellow and red challenges and received her Lego blocks. She had not yet been able to receive the green block as she was unable to explain her drawing in great detail afterwards. During the plenary, I then utilised a range of self-assessment and peer assessment learning strategies to support learners in reflecting on their own work. Learners reflected on their achievements by bringing the Lego blocks they had been rewarded with them back to the carpet. They then discussed how they had achieved them. The learners assessed their work against the success criteria that they had created and gave one another feedback and also feed forward. In the previous example, the pupil was able to identify that her next step in the Oracy strand of learning was to discuss her drawing with confidence and in detail in order to receive the green Lego block. I now challenge you to challenge your own pupils to become confident, creative and resilient achievers. Thank you for listening.